Okay, so today we're going to learn how to make a clay cupcake. This is one that's not been painted, but it is finished. We are going to be working with some clay and then a cupcake holder to make the shape. And the first thing you're going to want to do is write your name on this piece of paper that I give you. This will make sure that I get the right name on the cupcake because I won't write the name on it until the next day. Then you're going to get 2 pieces of clay, and these need to be rolled up into a sphere so the clay is pretty soft. You're going to roll it up in your hands, and when you get it into the shape you need, and it doesn't have to be perfect for this, it works just fine if it's a little bit off. So that one's finished, and then I'm going to roll up the other one. And I'm going to look at them. These are close to the same size, but if you have one that's larger than the other, then you want to use the smaller one for the clay for the base of the cupcake. And you're going to be making a hand pressed pot to start with. So we're going to pick up this piece of clay and put it in our hand. You're going to need to stick your thumb straight down into that piece of clay. And you don't want it to go all the way through, but you want to go close to the top and pull it out, and you're going to have a hole in that piece of clay. And then you're going to gently press the sides so it looks like a little hand pressed pot. Like that. And then you're going to take this piece of clay and you're going to need to really press that into this piece of plastic. You can actually bake cupcakes in this plastic. We don't leave it in the plastic to put it in the kiln because my kiln gets way too hot. It's really important to kind of push down into the corners of that to make sure you get it all the way in there. And you'll notice that you've got some clay that sticks up on the sides, and that's okay. It'll kind of get punched out at the bottom and rounded, so when you get done, you want to make sure you kind of push it down like that and then put it back into the right shape. You're going to use your paper clip to cut off any of that extra clay and save that because that might be used for sprinkles or a cherry on top or a place to hold your candle. So then you want to leave this like it is, maybe smooth it in the middle, and if it's crunched like that, kind of put it back into that round shape. This needs to dry overnight. What's going to happen is then it'll dry overnight and this will start to pull away from the clay, and I can take that out and then I can write your name on it before it's fired. So this is one after it's been fired. And it looks like this on the edges because it was pressed nicely into the piece of plastic. Then you're going to take the other piece of clay and do the same thing. You're going to push your thumb into it and make a hand pressed pot for the top. I've got both thumbs in there. I don't want it any thinner than my pinky or it will tend to break. Then I need to check it. That's almost the right size. Needs to be pulled out just a tiny bit. There we go. That looks pretty good, but I don't want to leave it on there because it'll stick, so I want to put that beside it on the table. Then I can decide what I want to do with my pot. Do I want to be able to put a candle in it after it's been fired? And if that's the case, I'll show you how to do that. I will have some candles that we can put in for like birthdays. And I'll have some better candles than this for you, but you can do that. You can have sprinkles, or you can have like a cherry on top. So if you're going to do a cherry, I would make a little thumb imprint. So there's a little indentation in there. And then just set that to the side. You can take some of your extra clay and roll it up into a little cherry shape. And you can add on a stem by just rolling a little piece of clay. And then putting I would put a little bit of a hole where you want the stem, a little bit of water on that to make it stay. And there's your cherry. And we found out that if you attach it to the clay now, and then when you get it back and try to paint it, it's really tough. So instead of doing that, we tore off a little corner of our paper and just set it inside our little bowl and put the cherry in there. Then when we glaze it, we can put it back on top of the cupcake in this little indentation here, and it will stick. Okay, so you can add sprinkles by just taking a little piece of clay and rolling it really thin. Let me take a little piece, a little tinier piece. I just want to do a little bit to show you. You can even roll that on the table if it's easier. Don't just smash, you don't want to press out any clay on the table because it'll stick like that. Oop. But you can roll it a little bit. And then you could cut that into sprinkles. Sprinkles come in all kinds of shapes, so you could put little round ones on there. But I'm just taking my paper clip and I'm going to cut it. And then to get this to stick, I need to put a little water on my cupcake. And then I can kind of gently press those on. If you forget to put the water on there, they will probably fall off in the kiln, or even before I get them in the kiln. They do need to have a little bit of water underneath it. Okay. If you're going to do a candle instead, we just took a little chunk of clay and roll it up, and then press it out onto to make a little round, kind of a round shape. And then to get that to stick, you need to score the top, make some little marks, put some water in, and attach that. Now there's no place to glue the candle yet, so to get the candle in, if you take the pencil and press into it, when that's fired, that's like the perfect shape to hold a candle. You really don't have room to do both a cherry and a candle, so choose one or the other. And you definitely could add sprinkles with either one of them. You could even do designs in this. It doesn't have to be just plain. You can do little designs in there. We're not going to draw names into our cupcake or really draw things on here. We're going to leave it just the frosting and then with some other little decorations on there. When you're all done, the extra clay gets saved in an extra bag. Then your name is on this piece of paper. So you're going to take these two pieces and put them on the cart that I've designated as a place to put them to dry. And then I need to let these dry until tomorrow morning, and then I can take this out of the plastic and I will write your name on the bottom with your class code, and then I can really easily do that on the inside of your lid too, so we can save it. So it's really important to have your name on here and this sitting on this before you put on the cart. We save the paper clips, do not throw them out. I'll have a spot for you to put the paper clips and your extra clay that's recycled. And then when you come back, we will paint those for you.